Take a breath. We're going all the way to the bottom of the ocean. Past the sunlight, past the coral, down into the dark. And I want you to watch the number on the screen as we fall. Because the ocean is far deeper than you think. So deep that more people have walked on the moon than have ever seen the bottom with their own eyes. This is how deep it really goes. Let's descend. 0 meters. The surface. Warm, bright, alive. The ocean you know. This top layer is called the sunlight zone, and almost every creature you can picture lives here. But it's thin. At around 40 meters, we already passed the limit for an everyday scuba diver. The deepest scuba dive ever recorded reached 332 meters. It took 12 minutes to go down, and nearly 15 hours to come back up alive. And there, a human is already at the edge of survival. But we're just getting started, because the sunlight is about to run out. 200 meters. Watch the light die. Red vanishes first, then orange, then yellow, until everything is a cold, fading blue. This is the Twilight Zone, the last place sunlight will ever reach. And the creatures grow strange. Enormous eyes to catch the final few particles of light. Transparent bodies. Rows of glowing dots. Because down here, life begins to make its own light. And by 1,000 meters, the sun is gone. Completely. And it will not return. 1,000 meters. Eternal night. From here to the bottom, there is no sunlight. Ever. This is the midnight zone, the largest living space on the entire planet. And it is not empty. The giant squid glides through the black, its eyes the size of dinner plates. Sperm whales plunge down here to hunt them, holding their breath for over an hour. And almost everything glows, ghostly pulses of blue-green light. It is beautiful and utterly alien. And we are still nowhere near the bottom. And here's why we can't just drive a submarine down. Every 10 meters you descend adds the weight of another entire atmosphere pressing in on you. Down here, it's already over 100 times the force you feel right now, enough to collapse your lungs to almost nothing. This is why the deep stayed a mystery for so long. It isn't that we don't want to go. It's that the ocean itself crushes anything that dares, and it's only getting stronger. 3,800 meters. Resting here in total darkness is one of the most famous objects on Earth, the Titanic. It sits so deep, it took more than 70 years just to find. And here's what stops people cold. As impossibly far down as the Titanic feels, we are only about 1/3 of the way to the bottom. Let that sink in and keep descending. 4,000 meters. The abyss, the name means bottomless. The water is just above freezing, the pressure monstrous. And yet, there is life. Ghostly creatures drift across the muddy plains, and in places, cracks in the seafloor pour out water over 400 degrees. And entire ecosystems thrive around them, with no sunlight at all. Life here doesn't run on the sun. It runs on the raw chemistry of the planet itself. And we still have far to fall. 6,000 meters. The Hadal zone, named after Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. Here the seafloor cracks open into the trenches, gashes in the Earth's crust, that plunge far below the seabed around them. Fewer than 50 exist on the whole planet, the least explored places on Earth. Darker than deep space. And somewhere in this blackness is the deepest an animal with a backbone can survive. Around 8,000 meters, we meet the last of its kind. A small, pale, almost translucent creature called the snailfish. No scales, no glow. Oddly gentle, drifting through the most hostile water on Earth. And it marks a hard limit. Because of the way this pressure attacks the proteins inside living tissue below roughly 8,200 meters, no fish can survive at all. We've just passed the deepest point that life with a backbone, like you and me, can physically exist. And now, we reach it. 10,935 meters. Challenger Deep, the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the deepest point on the entire planet. The pressure here is over 1,000 times the surface, 8 tons on every square inch, like balancing 100 elephants on the tip of your finger. And here's the fact that makes it real. Drop Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth, into this trench, and its peak would still be more than 2 kilometers underwater. This is the bottom. Over 500 people have flown to space, 12 have walked on the moon. But the number who have reached the bottom of Challenger Deep, you could nearly count on your hands. The first in 1960, then James Cameron, alone, in 2012, then just a handful more. And when they finally touched the deepest point on Earth, they found creatures thriving in the mud, and drifting beside them, a plastic bag. We had never been there, but our garbage had arrived first. And here's the thought to leave you with. Everything we just fell through, the twilight, the midnight, the abyss, the trenches, we have barely seen. More than 75% of the ocean floor has never been mapped in real detail. We have better maps of Mars, of the Moon, of Venus, than of the bottom of our own planet. Down there are almost certainly creatures no human eye has ever seen. We call it planet Earth. That's almost a joke. Nearly all the living space on this world is deep, dark, freezing ocean, and we've explored almost none of it. The greatest wilderness left isn't out in space. It's here, below us, right now. So the next time you look out at that calm blue surface, remember what's really underneath. A plunge into darkness, deeper than the tallest mountain is high, and the last true unknown on Earth. If this took you somewhere new, subscribe to The Wild Instinct and come with us on the next descent.